For over 170 years, mankind has been unable to uncover the truth behind this mysterious being, a being that has bewildered any witness or researcher that has come across him. This evasive legend is known as the Sasquatch, or more specifically, I'll be talking about Bigfoot. Today, I'm going to be speaking about the history of Bigfoot. I'll go into first sightings, folklore, his habitats, and other unique encounters. I've always been a nerd for cryptozoology, which is the field of study that searches for and studies the unknown, legendary or extinct animals such as like the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, and of course Bigfoot. The Sasquatch's origin can't be pinned down to a single culture. Many cultures have stories of large human-like creatures, with each language giving them a different name. The most common meaning for Sasquatch is wild man, which is what Sasquatch roughly translates to. These stories and sightings date back hundreds of years and are primarily found in North and South America. But the purpose of this speech is to give information on a specific Sasquatch, which is the Bigfoot. The first sightings of Bigfoot date back to the mid-1800s by North American settlers, with the name Bigfoot coming into popularity in 1958 when a mysteriously large footprint was discovered by loggers in the regions of California, the northern regions of California, which is according to history.com. At this point, Bigfoot wasn't quite a household name yet. This discovery caught the attention of researchers, but it wasn't until nearly a decade later in 1967 that Bigfoot really exploded in popularity. Once again in Northern California, two men by the name of Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin filmed the famous black and white footage that I'm sure many people have seen now of Bigfoot walking through the woods next to a creek. According to the Smithsonian Magazine, this was the most famous piece of Bigfoot evidence, and it's what finally made him catch all the attention. Bigfoot is primarily sighted in the Appalachian Mountain Range and the forests of the Pacific Northwest. Generally, all species of Sasquatch prefer forested regions and have an omnivorous diet, meaning that they eat mainly like plants and meat. They'll eat any plant or meat, including berries, nuts, leaves, deer, elk, salmon, bear, rabbit, and anything you can find in basically those wooded regions. The Sasquatch has been described as being anywhere from 6 to 15 feet tall, which is a very, very large range of height. He's covered in fur and can move completely silently and emit a high-pitched cry. I don't really have a great visual representation, but I do have this stuffed animal of Bigfoot. As you can see, pretty hairy, big feet. But it's pretty much all the reports have a pretty similar brown fur, tall, and like mammal-like features. According to Britannica.com, a Soviet scientist by the name of Boris Porshnev suggested that the Sasquatch is a descendant of the Neanderthals, which would further give credit to the fact that he's been around a long time and possibly is very evasive. As you can imagine, there's a lot of debate about if Bigfoot exists, mainly due to the wildly different sightings that have been documented over the years. A few of the more unique ones happened relatively recently. The first one I'll talk about happened in 2015, where a group of Bigfoot hunters were hunting the creature in Houston, Texas. When they had to dodge full-size logs being hurled at them through the tree line shortly before they assumed the creature ran off. There is no evidence or video recording caught of this, of course, because it happened at nighttime, and they were caught off guard by it. Another recent encounter, and a little bit more famous, was done by Les Stroud, who stars in the popular TV show called Survivor Man. Survivor Man is basically where he goes off in the wood by himself, no camera crew or anything. He records himself and everything, and he just survives for days and weeks alone in the wilderness. In this particular episode, Les was camping out in the forest of Alberta, Canada, where he heard a deafening screech followed by movement in the tree line. He saw like branches shaking, and then something ran off into the woods away from him. This all happened across a river that he was camping at, and Les went on to say that he was certain that he just encountered Bigfoot, and he now is an avid Bigfoot researcher, and gathers evidence and documents them just like any other Bigfoot hunter. So, what do you think? Is Bigfoot a real creature that successfully evaded capture for decades, or is he just another hoax that has been kept up for almost 2 centuries? Personally, I believe that while the likelihood of Bigfoot existing is unlikely now, the evidence throughout the years could possibly suggest that at one point he did indeed live and existed in the Appalachian Mountain Range or northern Canada. Alright, that's it. Thank you.